What's going on, guys? So today, like I promised, we're gonna read the Bible. I don't know what exactly I'm expecting. I don't plan to deconvert you or convert you in any way. You can believe in it, you cannot believe in it. Personally, I don't really care. All I want to do is actually form my own opinion and also see what you guys think down in the comments below. That being said, this series is also going to take place section by section. So right now we are on the creation of the world. This is the only one we're going to be reading in this video, so there's going to be a lot to come. I will also have the passages right here on the side. That way you guys can read alongside with me, and if you guys don't actually have the Bible or don't even plan on getting one, but you guys can interpret it however you guys want. So the first verse, or I guess the first line and everything, it says, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters." Here's the thing. So, with that first passage being said, it said, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth," right? Created the angels, created, the actual worlds of the heavens, which I could actually get by, by this being a story. The earth was without form and void. To me, what does that sound like? It means the earth was nothing. It literally was formed from nothing, right? Void to me means empty. Emptiness is probably just empty matter, empty space. There was nothing. So that's what God created. It was nothing but darkness. It actually reminds me of that one scene, I guess the beginning of Thor 2. I think they said that a lot of people think there was nothing in the universe, but they were wrong. There was darkness. So I do like that part. There was nothing but darkness. So God was the light. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. So I'm going to tell you what I picture, what personally I picture when I read that. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. I literally picture a lake. Tell me if you guys don't picture this as well. Like a lake and literally a spirit floating from that lake. That's personally what I picture. Now, what I also can interpret this from is hovering the face of the waters, literally meaning hovering the face of the earth, hovering the face of the planet as he's actually creating this world. On to the next section. "And God said, 'Let there be light,' and there was light. And God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day." There's a lot you can take from that passage. So going into deeper dive again. "And God said, 'Let there be light.'" So light is a photon, and basically it travels far and far, so you can actually see the illumination. At least that's what I think of, or at least I think that's what I remember. I also heard something else saying light is like the photon is both here and there at the same time. So, which, I don't know, I'm not a physicist, but that's at least what I've heard. But still, God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. So he himself created light, or created photons, created whatever it is. He created light. And he saw that light was good. So what he's saying, or what I interpret, is that anything to do with light itself, with white light, with something bright, is good. And anything to do with darkness is basically bad. He said it was like evil. Well, he didn't say evil. He said, "And God separated it from darkness." The only thing I can think of is the yin yang. God called the light day, and he called the darkness night. Here's the thing though. Every sun is a light, and there's so much darkness. So does that mean that there's a bunch of darkness in the world? Or in the universe, I should say? Or is this just the earth, the planet? If it is, then what is he calling light? What did he illuminate? Just the sun? Because there's multiple ways to interpret this. Because back then, not only did people think that the earth was flat, but let's just say they assumed the earth is round, right? I don't remember at this point. So does that mean that the sun itself is light and it's going around the world? So he thinks that's good because we're able to see. And then darkness, night. But then what about the moon? Because the moon, it doesn't have its own light. It's reflecting from the sun. but it's still some kind of light reflecting upon us. But if God created the universe, that means there's just so much darkness and not enough light. But then again, if you take the scopes and actually zoom out, I wonder if you see more light than you do darkness. That's interesting, because aside from that, what if the edge of the universe is just black and empty space? And that's why you see no light as well, because light hasn't traveled that far. I don't know, lots of questions I have with this one. Anyways, let's go on to the next verse. And God said, let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters. What? And God made the expanse and separated the waters that were under the expanse from the waters that were above the expanse. And it was so. What is the expanse? I'm going to look that up real quick. So it says the expanse or firmament, depending on the book I got, which I don't know what Bible version I got. There is water above in the troposphere, I guess. Yeah, water in the lakes and oceans. But yeah, that's basically what they mean by the expanse, by the heavens. And here, there is a picture I found, which I'll show on screen. Yeah, so I guess that's the firmament, I guess, or something. He separated the waters from the waters. So some type of water is up above, which I guess is slightly true. In a sense, I guess if you count clouds or other type of water forms. I don't know, however you want to take that verse, but it doesn't really make any sense. Let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters. I need like a Hebrew translation or something, because honestly, it's not clicking to me. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of, and it was so. It's just, he made clouds and other stuff, and yeah. And God called the expanse heaven. Oh, okay, I just needed to read one more line. So he basically said it from heaven. And there was evening, and there was morning the second day. Evening and morning. I wonder what this is entitling of, evening and morning. If it was literal evening and morning, it would just mean that the day just passed. And I don't think that's the case. I think it means something else by evening and by morning. Let me know what you guys think. Now the next verse says, and God said, let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. God called the dry land earth, and the waters that were gathered together he called seas. And God saw that it was good. So it sounds like from this, God is literally forming earth as it is now. Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place. So I guess you can consider that all around Pangea, and then Pangea rising, I guess. But even then, it wouldn't make any sense, because this is the formation of Earth. I think I'm taking this too literally. And God saw that it was good. At this point, I just think God is experimenting. It just sounds like he's just a scientist, and he's just seeing, let's see how this works, and let's see if this is good. Because it says, God saw that it was good. So I'm assuming he didn't mean, he didn't, it doesn't sound like he knew it was good. He saw that it was good. So he let it be. Obviously, I'm taking this book way too seriously. Next passage. And God said, let the earth sprout vegetation, plants yielding seeds, and fruit trees bearing fruit, bearing fruit, in which is their seed. I guess that's a weird way to put it. I don't know. Anyway. Each according to its kind on earth. And it was so. The earth brought forth vegetation, plants yielding seeds according to their own kinds, and trees bearing fruit, in which is their seed, each according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, and the third day. So the third day he created plants, vegetation, and all that. Now obviously, that did not happen in a single day. Now, could it be possible? In a sense, I want to say yes, because, depending on what they mean by day, which could be like a million years in God's, I guess, time, which for a being that doesn't exist in time, whatever he calls his version of time, I don't know. Each one producing after their own kind, which doesn't make any sense, because if a tree comes out, it needs to describe what the kind is. Like, for example, if a seed falls, what kind of seed is it? Is it like a carrot seed? It'll sprout a carrot, but then through time and time and time, that carrot will not be a carrot anymore. It would be something else. And I don't know, it's just a huge process through this, because there's a bunch of evolutionary traits you got to consider. Because if it would be plant producing a plant, it would continue and not even bother to use the word kinds. And on top of that, it says trees, and trees I think is considered a kind of plant. And they said fruits bearing fruits, but also some plants produce fruits, not just trees. I'm overthinking this by a lot, but let's continue. And God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens to separate the day from the night," which doesn't make any sense. I'm assuming by that he means stars. Let there be stars. "And let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. And let them be lights in the expanse of the heavens to give light upon the earth." And it was so. I guess you can tell the seasons and the days and the years. So yeah, that's all true. "And God made the two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night, and the stars." Okay, so he made the light, which is the sun, which is the greater light, I'm assuming. And then the lesser light, which isn't even a light, it's a rock, which is our moon. Unless they were talking about something else, but I'm pretty sure it's our moon. "And God set them in the expanse of the heavens to give light on the earth, to rule over the day and over the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good." He's seeing a lot of things that are good, that he thinks are good. He's like, all right, this is good. We're gonna make it that way. Honestly, if you're a scientist and you kind of do that, let me know, because that would be very interesting. Because I feel like a lot of scientists are like, that's good. We can keep up with that. Not like it has to be perfect, because you're experimenting. You're trying to find out like new hypotheses, new theories, and all that. You're like, okay, this is good. Let's keep rolling with it. I'm not saying like half-ass it, like this is good enough. No. "And there was evening and there was morning and the fourth day." See, the evening and morning things just like get me confused. It's just like, it's like at the end of the century, of the eon. I don't know. Next passage. "And God said, let the waters swarm with swarms of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the expanse of the heavens. So God created the great sea creatures and every living creature that moves, with which the waters swarm according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good." There's a lot of kind things here. Like, I feel like that's pretty vague for like a kind, a sea creature. Because to us, we identified it from the very beginning, and then we kind of meshed it up to see where it goes, where it evolved, and how it did this. When it comes to this, like a sea creature developing into his own kind, it doesn't really make any sense. And then same thing with birds, because birds are technically dinosaurs. So if you consider that, all birds are dinosaurs, but not all dinosaurs are birds. Does that make sense? "And God blessed them, saying, Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let the birds multiply on the earth. And there was evening and there was morning and the fifth day." So I'm like, okay, well, that just happened, I guess. Okay, so well, there goes another day and another night. So he created birds and sea creatures. I guess I wanted to see what kind of sea creatures he created, but I guess we'll never know. Next passage. "And God said, let the earth bring forth living creatures according to their kinds, livestock and creeping things, and beasts on the earth according to their kinds." There's a lot of kinds in this thing, and it was so. "And God made beasts of the earth according to their kinds, and livestock according to their kinds." And it feels like I'm reading like Kronk, like Cusco's poison, the poison for Cusco, the poison developed for Cusco's poison. Like that's how this thing is making me read. "And everything that creeps up from the ground according to its kind, and God saw that it was good." Okay, the whole kind thing is kind of pissing me off. What do you mean by kind? Like they're species, they're clades, they're what? Already I'm getting annoyed. Next passage. Then God said, let us make man in our image. Oh, wait. It says, let us make man in our image after our likeness. That's an interesting quote. That's an interesting one. Let me finish this passage before I go further. And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the birds of the heavens and over the livestock. Okay, so the heavens is definitely the sky. Just the sky, not like heaven itself, I'm assuming, because the birds can fly through the heavens. And in Spanish, it means cielo, which is also technically just sky. So, okay. I think it's more clear now. At least I think it's more clear now. Anyways, sorry. Over the fish, over the sea, blah, 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 and over the livestock, and all over the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on earth. So let us make man in our image. That means, at least to me, that points out that he isn't the only God. So what if it is just like a scientist and he's just like, let us make them look like us, so other gods look like them? Who knows? Maybe he had like a trip with Thor, a trip with Ra, a trip with different kinds of gods. Quetzalcoatl. That says a lot right there. Unless that was a typo from my Bible, I don't know. But regardless, I'm taking it as how I read it or how this person wrote it. So if there was a typo, then let me know. And then I just read the next line. So God created man in his own image. An image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. Okay, that's interesting. So he created us in his own image. But that still begs the question, did he make the cell? No, he didn't make the cell. He says man. And then there's the thing right down here that says the Hebrew word used here for man includes both men and women. So obviously like the human race. Yeah, it refers to the entire human race. So basically we now look like God. This is how God looks like. So does he look like a monkey? Does he look like a chimp? Does he look like a gorilla, an orangutan? I want to know what was the previous, like, what's it called? Humanoid figure. I know I don't know what the species is called for Lucy, but I think that's the earliest. I don't know if we have earlier, like, data on that. I'm gonna need to talk to, or at least look up, what the earliest, at least example of an ape was. Because maybe he just created, I don't know. I can't just like claim things over here, but he created an ape, or maybe God just looks like an ape, like a different version of an ape. Maybe he's super hairy. Maybe at the end we did turn out like him. I don't know. So let me know what you guys think on that verse. And God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish. This, like I said, I'm like reading like Cusco, heavens and earth and living things, and then everything that moves on the earth. It's just like a repetitive thing, but whatever. And God says, behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the face of the earth, every tree with the seed in its fruit. So he gave us fruit. He gave us full power over every other living thing. So we're technically what we call privileged in that sense. We are on top of the food chain. We are on top of every other thing. That's what I'm like gathering from this. And to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the heavens, and to everything that creeps on the earth, everything that has the breath of life. A lot of things can breathe. Just saying. I have given every green plant for food. Wait, so does that mean everything was like vegetarian before? Everything that was created had some type of plant to eat. Some type of, I have given every green plant for food. And it was so. So technically we did not consume each other. We did not eat other animals. That's what I'm interpreting. And it was so. And God saw everything that he made, and behold, it was very good. So at this point, he does just sound like a scientist, like just playing. And there was evening, and there was morning, and the sixth day. That's all we will read for this episode. But to me, so far, Let me break it down. To me, it's like a scientist just playing things out, seeing how things will go. For example, if you've played video games and if you played not necessarily simulation games, but games like way back in the day, like Roller Coaster Tycoon, Zoo Tycoon, if you play The Sims, if you play any kind of like generator simulator with controlling AIs or controlling computers, people, and like other creatures, maybe, I think you'll get the idea of where I'm going with. Like, you're just playing. That's what it seems like to me. You're just kind of creating your own thing, and you saw that it was good. You saw everything like working out into your favor, what you think should be okay. That's what it sounds like to me. Like, it's somewhat of a simulation, but at the same time, obviously it's life. It's not real life. I'm not taking this Bible seriously, but I am reading it. I like interpreting it, and so far it does make for a good story. Like, God is creating all these things, and it just reminds me it just makes me think that he's like puzzling things together, you know? He's just like creating this here, and seeing how it works. That's what I mean. Like, I kind of like where this is going. What pisses me off is that he keeps saying kinds, and then they keep repeating the same things like Kronk, and it's really annoying. Anyway, that's all for this episode. Next episode, we will read The Seventh Day God Rests. So if you want to tune in for that one, that'll probably come out hopefully pretty soon. See you all then.